In this little video, I'm just going to go through the highlights of the survey. I thank those of you who participated in it. I was disappointed that quite a few didn't. It's always very helpful if you give your opinions, give feedback. And I got quite a lot of good comments. One of them, for example, was, can't we have more of the members sending in the quantum judgments that they get? And I certainly would encourage that. I'll be happy to load it up on the site, and that way we can share things. You know, things always work best if it's a give and take. And unfortunately, a lot of people just take and never give. I'm not saying that there aren't some very good ones out there who don't generously donate money, for example, to the JA campaign and other things like that. But I am saying, you know, if you give me feedback, as opposed to asking questions, which are generally quite hard to go through, it really does make things a lot easier for me. What probably surprised me the most was that big orange area, which is the percentage of members who are members of the JAA. I thought it would be about 95%. In fact, it was, so far, it's about 61%. In other words, 39% aren't members at all. Members of other organizations, 9% of you are members of CARPL, 33% of SARPL, and that's pretty much it. YouTube, would you be able to see it? The big orange area is yes, a resounding 80% will be able to see it and share it. And then there were a lot of comments. What publications do you read? Doravis, 71% of you read them. Order News, that's a Law Society newsletter, which I think is very worthwhile, 39% only. Phosphaxis from the Law Society, 67%. I don't know if that's a sign that too many are being sent out. Without Prejudice, 22%, and others down at 16%. So that's it quite briefly, and I mean really I've only put this video together as well just to see what sort of reaction there is to the sound and everything else like that. If you can let me know if it works well, and it'll allow me to do more updates this way in future. Some of the questions I got, for example, was we'd like to know more about this man behind the Road Accident Fund, Jacob Madisi. Comments on a lot of people think that the touting rules are somewhat conservative and need to be changed, and they want more about that and the rule changes that we've been hearing about for quite some time. Some people ask me to write about things that I really don't have any expertise, the Master's Office and things like that. My legal newsletter will really largely be on sort of topics that I know. And I think, you know, some saying that they'd like more Road Accident Fund. Another attorney's written here that it passes it amongst everyone in the office. They're having problems printing it. I know that there are some problems like that. I don't really think I can reformat that, but your other staff members are welcome to put their name down on my list. Just put a real name and a real email address. We get these people who try to register under pseudonyms all the time, and we do generally phone them up if it's not a name I recognize, although I do know most of your names. And that'll help. Lastly, to the people who honor your undertakings, I think that's a column I must have one of these days, the people who don't, because there's some surprising people who don't. But to the people that do, always appreciate it quite a lot. Got 2 checks recently, both from female firms, where the people have actually honored their undertakings, and it's always a pleasant surprise when an attorney does what he or she has said that they will. So that's always good. I think I must make a column one day for the people who don't pay. That might just get some of them to look into their matters a little bit faster, because I keep a long spreadsheet, and I certainly recommend that you do the same, where I list all the matters where my mandate's been terminated and all these wonderful promises have been made to me by my colleagues, and I bomb off letters every now and then, hoping that I'll get a reply, an update, or something like that. Anyway, thanks for your time.